It is 4 minutes past 4 o'clock. You are tuned to 96.3 WLCN. My name is Lloyd Kirby. It's time for the 4 p.m. 411. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but I think we've got things rolling as they should be now. We're going to actually have a two-part show today. First guest until 4:30 is Beth Kavelman joining us from the Logan County as the Logan County Economic Development Director, and then at 4:30 we will have young lady in from the Atlanta Public Library and Museum telling us about some of their upcoming programs. But as I said, right now we have Beth Kavelman with us. So, Ms. Kavelman, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sure thing. So your official, or at least the only part of your title that I mentioned was Logan County Economic Development Director. But I saw in your email there's a few more titles that go along with that as well. So you're one busy lady.
Yeah. Well, I'm also the zoning officer for the county, and we've really been working hard. I also have been writing, with our team, have been writing the broadband grant that we submitted to the Illinois Department of Economic Commerce and Economic Opportunity. That's a mouthful,
Yeah,
but anyway, we're waiting to hear about that too. But that'd be a nice thing to get broadband all the way, middle mile, all the way out to all the communities in Logan County.
Oh wow, very nice. So, what does a Logan County Economic Development Director do?
Well, we're out there talking to people, and we're out there calling. We hear some leads about things, and I contact them, and we talk. And just today, I got another one came in. They're seeing the things that some of the previous county board did for us. I do want to mention Dr. Hepler. He started this with the renewables, and now we've been known as the Logan County is the renewables county of Illinois. So that's exciting. I know you either like these things, you like solar farms or wind farms. Cost for education and help better schools for our children.
Okay, so how does one go about being an economic development director? Like, do you get people who contact you, or do you actively go out and sort of promote the county to potential businesses, or a little bit of both?
Yes, we do both. And, if I'm at a conference or something, I make sure everyone knows about Logan County and Lincoln. And I believe everybody can be an economic development director. You have to be happy where you live, proud of your community, and just speak up about it. And people really want to come.
Mm-hmm. So, and of course, you previously had served as mayor of Lincoln, so you've got not only the knowledge of the Logan County Economic Development Director position, but also some more sort of behind-the-scenes knowledge that maybe other folks wouldn't necessarily have in that position.
Yes, maybe. Yeah. I keep talking over you. I don't mean to do that.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But yes, we did get, for the first 3 years of my mayor, I was mayor for 8 years for Lincoln, and first 3 years I served as the president of the Economic Development, our Logan County Economic Development Corporation, or whatever you call it, council. And we had a lot of neat things, and we got Cisco here. That was really, really good. And it just takes caring and diligence and just staying with it.
So how are things going in the world of Logan County economic development?
Well, we are booming. I could probably use another stat. We just hired one person full-time, and I think we could really take another one on, too, because we are just busy. Just in the first, we're not even finished with April yet, but we've already brought in just $50,000 and over $50,000 in fees for people wanting to build a new home, and that is indicative that things are happening. People are out there building, and we brought in probably over $34 million $34 million in investments already in just this small time since January 1st.
Oh wow! Okay.
So got a lot of neat things happening.
So how do you, you mentioned to me off air that things are going well in the county as far as economic development. How do you sort of quantify that? Are there certain numbers you look at, such as the dollar figures?
I keep track. Okay. There's my log, and I started last year. I've only been in this role. I started out, was hired part-time as economic development director, and the other individual was a zoning officer. And then they, when he left, then they brought me in as both. So that's what I've been doing. So, I'm comparing with previous years. We are really doing it. And also, if you could base it on our zoning board of appeals that we've had 6 of those in a 2.5-month period compared to about 16 months. The last one was the Mulligan Solar Farm. We brought in that 600-acre
Okay.
nice solar farm.
Okay. Once again, our guest today is Beth Kavelman. For the first part of the show, Beth Kavelman, the Logan County Economic Development Director, among other things. If you have questions or are interested, maybe have a comment about things you've been seeing or you'd like to see or whatever, 217-648-5510 is the number to call. Or you can also send us an email, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. It is 10 after, so we'll go ahead and take our first break, but we'll be back with more with Beth Kavelman and talk about more Logan County economic development items right after this. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 with Beth Kavelman, the Logan County Economic Development Director. Once again, 217-648-5510, the number to call if you have questions of Ms. Kavelman and about Logan County economic development items. Feel free to ask, or you can send us an email, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 8:15 when Bill Gossett will host Viewpoint. He will have Ellen Dobahall, who is the membership chair with the Lincoln Women's Club, and also attending with her will be Ruth Sloot, who is a past president of the organization. So that will be happening from 8:15 to 9 tomorrow. But as I said, right now we have Beth Kavelman with us, Logan County Economic Development. So how do you go about in your position? You said sometimes folks call you, sometimes you go to meetings and sort of,
Sure.
How do you promote Logan County to people? Sort of what's your sales pitch?
Well,
so to speak?
just some of the regular stuff people do, put a sticker on your chest and go around and talk to people and when you're there and tell them you're from Lincoln. When I was mayor, I did a lot of Abraham Lincoln promotions. I still do that. But I think we all, like I said, have to be involved. You have to be happy and, take care of your homes and, just be proud of what you're doing. And it's coming. These people are coming. And it's just hard to believe some of the stuff. We're also getting into above ground storage. We're going to CO2 sequestration in the pipeline. That's issue that was dealing with things. And we're doing the solar arrays on houses, ground mounted and rooftop, and a lot of residents are doing that.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more solar panels, it seems like, just driving around town or whatever.
Right.
What are the sort of the benefits or the incentives, or how does that work in terms of helping sell Logan County as an economic development spot?
That just kind of puts a few more dollars into our, but it does help with the grid. We're also doing work with the grid for the energy grid, and that will hook in with the solar farm as well as the above ground storage. That will be really neat. We've got a lot of nice things happening. I know people might not think that's good, but down the road, when the taxes have gone, have not increased, that's I think it's been the fourth year they've gone or just stayed at the level they're supposed to be. Now, don't quote me on that, but I do know it was good things that we have heard about that. I don't know. This office is probably the only, or one of the only money makers for the whole county. So we kind of have a little bit of pressure on us. It's not bad. We enjoy what we're doing. We both said the other day we liked what we were doing. So I think it's good.
So in terms of economic development in Logan County, obviously Lincoln is in Logan County, and there are, for example, the LEAD organization is in Lincoln. I know the Tourism Bureau, they aren't an economic development per se, but they help sort of promote the county and bring people in. Do you folks, do you work with them at all, or do you all sort of have your own areas that you sort of reside in, or how does that part work?
Well, our county chair sits on the Tourism Bureau, so she reports back to everyone. And I do whenever they need me or something, I'm available. Same way with the LEAD, working with Andrea. She's really a go-getter for things. And I just feel like we're all trying to do our best to make Lincoln, Logan County, and all the communities just shine and do a little bit more with each of them.
So are there any particular obstacles or things that have sort of hindered you to be able to do as much as you would like in your position? When we're dealing with the broadband, getting that grant, that's a $13.5 million grant. We are putting in some of our ARPA funds, and then it's a $10 million grant from the state. And yes, we are waiting for that. If we get that going, we will have enough. We're putting in for another one. I'm writing another grant to pick up the last 3 communities that we had to leave off because of the prevailing wage is required. And we knew it, but I guess the company that's working with us didn't realize it, so they didn't anticipate all that. But anyway, all of our 16 communities, 17 communities are going to get picked up, and they're going to have a little demarcation hut or some kind of a little thing we're going to make, and they have to designate, try to designate a little patch of area that we can put all of our technical stuff in, and then we might even not piggyback, but have other last mile people coming in, like I3 Broadband or Comcast or whatever. They would maybe possibly piggyback on us in our little demarcation building. So that'd be a little rent too coming in. But I think the communities are excited. I'm establishing a person and an alternate person to be our communication connect person. If we have a problem, they can go run and do something, or at least wait for the person that's the technical person coming in. Anyway, we've got some neat stuff planned, and I think that is drawing the communities together. Okay. Another thing we talked about off the air was sort of a sign of good things happening with the Enterprise Zone.
Yes.
Now, when I first heard Enterprise Zone, I had visions of Star Trek, which I know that's not correct. But for those who may not be aware, can you kind of tell us what the Enterprise Zone is and how it is, sort of helps businesses?
Sure. They have it's a building materials exemption form, and you have to fill out quite a few forms to even get considered. But then that comes into me, but I have to have a building permit. We have to make sure we've got everything, it's all in the building permit. And then we go forward with Enterprise Zone applications and all that. And so then it will be an incentive on materials, and it will help. And it is retroactive. That's what's good, because I've got a stack sitting on my desk right now. So I was writing the broadband grant, and that's what I was told. So, but it is. The Enterprise just came in today, 2 of them. So they're going to take advantage of it.
Okay. Are there any sort of, as Logan County Economic Development Director, are there any sort of, I don't know what the right word is, sort of misconceptions, or maybe people aren't quite sure what a Logan County Development Director does? Well,
I think in your community, the success comes in waves. Sometimes you're waiting 24 months to get something done. You've been working on it, sometimes behind the scenes quietly, because the developers don't want anyone knowing that they're coming into the community, probably because they think the property land will go up or whatever. But anyway, yes, it does sometimes take a little bit of time to get something done, but now it's coming in. It's coming in waves. It really is.
And do you have any, what do I say? Well, we talked about ways to measure sort of the success or lack thereof, and you pulled out your spreadsheet. I don't know if you were on camera when you held
saw
that
my
up
little
or not.
spreadsheet. It's
I
kind
saw
of
it, but I don't know
it's
if
my
on
little.
yours.
But I'm sorry. These are all that came in.
Okay.
Just for the last 4 months.
Wow.
So got lots of solar. People are really doing the solar on their. And I told my husband we were going to do that too, and he said, "Well, we'll just wait a little bit and see how." But anyway, I think it's wonderful because people are jumping on board with some of this.
And you, as we've been mentioning, you're the Logan County Economic Development Director, so not just Lincoln, but also the smaller communities.
Yes.
How do you are there any special challenges that are unique to trying to promote businesses to sort of locate in the smaller areas?
Well, no, we have a good relationship with Wes over at the city, and then we also check with the communities as well when someone comes in and asks for like to put a solar in maybe Atlanta, Illinois. We double check with their zoning office to make sure that they are taking care of it or whatever. We just try to work cooperatively with everybody that we can to get this completed, and met a lot of nice, good people along the way.
And what's the saying? A rising tide raises all ships. So
That's
if
right.
businesses locate in Atlanta, then
Yes, they're
maybe
going
those folks are going to come to Lincoln to restaurants, or if people locate in Lincoln, vice versa.
Yes,
So.
I'm really pleased with what's happening here.
Okay, our guest is Beth Kavelman. She's the Logan County Economic Development Director, among other titles. Maybe we'll talk about those after this break. But we are at 20 after, so we'll go ahead and take our second break, and we'll be back with more right after this. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 with Economic Development Director of Logan County, Beth Kavelman. Your title, as I mentioned when I got your email, in addition to that, has several other acronyms and things with it. Can you kind of, in addition to Logan County Economic Development Director, can you kind of tell us some of the other hats you wear?
Well, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm on the grant writing committee for the broadband, getting that middle mile in, and then allowing providers to come in and sign up and follow up to get internet to all of our communities in the whole county. And that's such a wonderful thing, I believe.
And when you say middle mile?
Okay, there's different phases. The middle mile is running the dark fiber, the optic out to all these communities. They'll be from this courthouse going outward. Now, Lincoln, Illinois has already been ahead of the game on that. They are already doing with the I-3, you see, I-3 broadband, they're putting in the last mile. So they are kind of, we go through Lincoln, but they're already ahead of us from the whole county. But this will be wonderful. We get it finished. And then I'm also I'm enterprise zone, opportunity zone, and administrator. And so I have an assistant now. She's doing a great job, and I think we'll be getting some more of these so we can get some of these things. But we just moved. Our office is over in the Regions Bank, first floor, 303 South Kickapoo Street. People walk in all the time. You come in off the back where you're going to go park your car. You just come in there and take an immediate left when you get inside. Okay. And we've moved 2 times in 2 weeks, time. So we moved around and everything. And we were moving out because the courthouse was getting remodeled and or renovated. And so that's where we are for now.
All right.
And we like it.
So what is a typical day like for you, or is there a typical day, so to speak?
Well, I mean, for a while I was using my own cell phone for everything because where I was at the Orr building didn't have a telephone jack or whatever. Mm-hmm. So for a whole year I've used my own, so it rings all night, all day long and everything. But it's wonderful because then people can call over the weekend, or even developers will call late at night and talk about things. So anyway, the phone's ringing and people are emailing, and we are very busy. We have walk-ins, and we help them with, hi, kitty cat, and we help all of them with whatever we can as soon as we can. Sometimes we have them sitting and waiting. That's how busy we've been lately.
And so if someone has an idea for a business and they're interested in locating in Logan County, what would be some of the first steps that they would go through as far as working with you to find a site, perhaps?
Well, we're with the group also, the Greater Peoria Economic Development Council, and now I'm on the board for that. They put me on that about 6 months ago or so. And what we do is they come through. We've got a group that sends all these referrals to us, and then I try to disseminate them out to anybody that I know might have a certain square footage available, or compiling lists of open properties in the community, and just trying to find statistics that would be readily available for us.
So you have to have kind of a working knowledge about a little bit of everything as far as open properties, how big they are.
Parcel, and they have to own the property. When they come in and ask for to put a building on a property, they have to be the owner. So we have to prove that as well. So, and
then I would think Lincoln, just because of its location, would be a selling point as well, being accessible by the major highways and railways and so forth.
It is. And we do get quite a few people calling. Like I said today, someone called as well, and we've been working with them on something.
Okay. And do you have not necessarily your phone number since you have an office number now, but if folks are interested in talking about economic development with you, what would be the best way to get in contact with them?
It's 217-732-5927. Or they can get me at bkavelman@logancountyil.gov.
And Kavelman is with a K.
Kavelman's with a K and a V in the middle, not B, a V.
Okay.
V as in Victor.
All right. V as in
Victor.
Victorious, whatever. So our guest has been Beth Kavelman, Logan County Economic Development Director, talking about economic development as well as some of the factors that go into that. We've been mentioning the solar panels and their increasing popularity. So how does that maybe help entice a business to coming to Lincoln, not just in terms of the electrical savings, but are there other sort of grants or incentives to have a business go that route?
Yes, there are tax incentives for doing that, but I think it just shows that we are open for this, very open for expansion or for building or for just for economic development. So yes, we've got lots of companies coming in, and the residents must be happier. We'd hear something back from that, but we've installed quite a few of those solar arrays.
Okay, very good. So once again, our guest has been Beth Kavelman, Logan County Economic Development Director. We will we'll learn about the Atlanta Public Library and Museum here in our next half hour. Once again, don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 8:15 for Viewpoint with Bill Gossett. He will have representatives on from the Lincoln Women's Club talking about their organization and some of the projects and events that they sponsor and have. But we've almost reached the bottom of the hour.
Okay.
So it went
all right.
quickly.
Well, thank you very much. Right. Thanks for the invitation. And anybody call us.
All right. Absolutely. So that's been Beth Kavelman, Logan County Economic Development Director. And we will be back with more right after this.
The
preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.